Hello and welcome to the Pre-Algebra Online Canvas Orientation. This is my presentation I'll be giving on my live presentation. But if you're going to be absent or can't make it, I thought I'd make you a little video, kind of show you what my expectations are and how to log in. Again, this is just a presentation, so I'm just going to click through it. You can kind of see the back end of it here. The time commitment for this class will be about 3 to 5 hours a week. Kind of depends on the student. I expect it'll take them probably about 30 minutes a day. Some of them take far less than that. Some of them take quite a bit more than that. Kind of depends on the student. But about 30 minutes a day is about what I would expect. It may even, actually, it probably would even take a little bit less than that. But as long as they log in every single day, I do want them to log in every single day to try to get the assignments done. The first couple assignments are kind of difficult, but then they get easier. I notice students have fewer and fewer questions, I've noticed, as we go along. But that first chapter is kind of tricky, new concepts. Make sure you read the course. Read every page of it. Make sure you take in all the information that you possibly can. It is, they call it a self-taught course. It's an online course, right? So I'm here to help any students that have any questions, but it is an online course, and you are expected to read the course and try to understand this stuff yourself. It's not so difficult. There's a lot of videos, a lot of great explanations, a lot of practice questions, that sort of thing. So it's really not that difficult as long as you read every single page and watch every single movie and do every single practice problem, then it won't be bad. And it shouldn't take you, like I said, it won't take you more than 30 minutes per thing. So keep a notebook of ideas and concepts that are new to you, and even things that you may already know. It's good to just write them down. One section, one page. Keep notes on the concepts that they're going over there. The assignments. Make sure you're doing the assignments in order. I made it, although I've made mistakes. I've made it so that you have to do all the assignments in order. So hopefully I didn't make any mistakes on that part. That's kind of a tricky part on tricky thing to do on my part. But hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. And you have to do all the assignments in order, which is best anyway. You don't want to do them out of order because you're just going to make mistakes. It's best to do them in order. Stay on pace. I'll show you after a bit. After I'm done with my orientation here, I'll show you how to see what is due and when. This is an easy one to do. Stay in touch is the next section. Stay in touch. You can send and receive messages through Canvas. I'll show you how to do that after a bit. Here's a login address, https://asdk12instructure.com. The username is just last name dot first name. The password is going to either be your student ID, although I've found that a lot of you, if you're in 6th grade, is going to be your first name with a capital first letter. If you have a really short first name, by the way, if your first name is Ian, I-A-N, and your last name is Thomas, your password has to be, I believe, 5 letters long. So your password is probably capital I-A-N-T-H. TH comes for the first 2 letters of the word Thomas. So if you got a really short first name, your password may be a little bit different. I can help out with that though if you can't get logged in. All right, well, let's go and sign in. Like I said, it's at instruction. Let me go back here. It's at asdk12.instructure.com. That's just a redirect, so it'll fill up with a bunch of stuff up there. Don't worry about it. You know what? I'll sign in as myself, but then change over to student view to show you kind of what I'm doing. Okay, don't pay attention to this part. I'm going to switch to student view. Okay, so once you sign in, this is what it will look like. You'll have a to-do list over here. These are things that are coming up or that are actually due. And down below there, these are the ones that are about to be due. Okay, and there's a little calendar view right here. If I scroll all the way down, you'll see there's different modules. I'm going to try to erase this module 4, module 5. That's next semester. I did manage to figure out how to type in not yet available. So there's different things I want you to do, and you just do them in order. Welcome, get started, module 1, module 2, module 3, and then that's when we'll be done with the first semester. Module 1 is tricky. I'll be honest with you, that's tricky. There's the things on the side here are all about you. There's an account, dashboard, courses, and calendar. These are the two most important ones. And then inbox. This is just how you communicate with me. And I think you can actually communicate with other students, but I'm not sure. So if I click on courses, oops, come back up to this. You can view your grades by clicking here, see how you're doing. The most important thing though is this modules part. Now we looked at modules down at the bottom of the page if you remember. And remember one module was called Welcome. The other module was called Getting Started. If you don't remember, let me go back to the home. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. See, Welcome, Get Started, Module 1, Module 2. You can click on those, that's fine. I kind of like to click here because what it does is it breaks it down for you. You can also uncollapse them or decascade them. I'm not sure what the proper word is. Module 2, Module 3, and you notice that's the only one that shows up here. So you can go to Welcome. Welcome to, oh, it says pre-calculus. I'll try to fix that. That should say pre-algebra. Holy cow, pre-calculus. Course information, an orientation quiz. This isn't graded, but take it. And then lessons. Just go ahead and click on them and click through it. Getting started is the next one. This is not really a chapter, but I do want you to go through these things here. Things to know, navigation, that sort of stuff. Probably not that important. I'll be showing a lot of this stuff to you anyway. So let me minimize that once again. Let's go right down to the meat of the problem. You'll see that it says Module 1 checklist, and it has a little thing here that's going to fill up with a little checkbox. After it says, well, if I hover over it, says must view this page. So what I have to do is I have to, before I can go down to the next one, because this one I can't click on it at all. This one I can click, these ones I cannot click. So what I have to do is I have to click here, and it's just a little checklist. Wait for it to come up. The pages, I can go from one page to the next by using these arrows right here. Okay, there's a left arrow and a right arrow and a home button. But I can see that there's only 2 pages right here. 1, 2, okay. If I scroll all the way down, careful with these buttons down here. This goes to the next module, or the next section, I should say, not the next module. This goes to 101. We don't want to do that. We're in 100 right now. See right here, 100. This actually skips pages 1 and 2 and goes to the next module, the next section, I should say. So let me click here. I'm going to go view page number 2. And this pink stuff, by the way, down here won't show up on your screen, this pink stuff right here. Okay, so I take this, I look at this. By the way, we're not going to be taking any pre-tests, so don't worry about that. Okay, this is something I cannot change about the book that we're using. I can't change the fact that it asks for a pre-test, but I didn't put it in the assignments here. So I'm going to go back to modules. Okay, I looked at page 1 and page 2 of that thing. Now you see it looks a little different. These are grayed out still, but the number line 101 is now available to me. I can click on it, and there's a little checkbox right here. It says completed. If I go down here, it says must view this page. Another one I just have to look at. So this first one, checklist, there's not too much interesting going on there. This next one is called 101, and it's the number line, and it has a link here. This one down here has a little Q. That stands for quiz, or it's not really a quiz, it's an assignment. But I'm able to do this, click here, wait for it to come up, and look at the pages 1 through 6. Remember, I don't want to click on this previous and next button down at the bottom. To go to the next page, I want to click on the arrow right here. But first, I read through this. Okay, I got all that stuff. Page 2 is coming up. Page 2 talks about rational and irrational numbers. This is actually very, very important in math. And for some reason, New students have a difficult time understanding the difference between a rational number and an irrational number. Where's irrational? Here it is, irrational numbers. Rational numbers can be expressed as a fraction, a over b, okay, where b is not 0. You can't have b on the 0 on the bottom. It can be expressed as a fraction. A repeating decimal, by the way, can be rational. An irrational number cannot be written as a fraction. This is just a little math lesson for you. It actually goes through and explains everything that I could possibly explain to you. But go ahead and it asks you to classify these as rational or irrational. Select the number to see an explanation of the number's classification. So it says 21 over 7. So that one says 21/7 is rational because it can be represented as a over b, where b is not equal to 0. So you might want to look at these, you know, the square root of 100, is that rational or irrational? Well, click on it and find out. So I'm going to go to the next page, and I'm going to zip right through this for right now. Like I said, you need to read each one of those things. So for page 5. Page 6. Okay, 6 of 6. I've done everything. If I scroll down, it says, okay, I'm ready for the assignment 101 number line. So if I go back to modules and wait, I'm going to wait for it to fill inside. Oh, look, now this one has got a check mark. It didn't have a check mark before, and this one is clickable. This is the assignment. See, it has a little Q right there. Q stands for quiz, but it's really an assignment. Okay, so now we're ready to take the quiz or this assignment, and then it's a multiple choice thing. Easy. This one is not so difficult, but some of these other ones are kind of tricky. If I scroll down just to see what's coming up, scientific notation, all sorts of stuff, way down at the bottom is a test, part 1 test and part 2 test. That's after you've completed all. There'll be check marks on all these other ones though, so you can only take the test after you've finished everything. Next, let me go over syllabus. The syllabus is really, I think the best thing about this link is probably just if you print it out. I think I would just print this out and put it on my refrigerator just so mom and dad knows where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there. So for example, by September 12th, I made this movie in 2016. I might use this movie from year to year. So if it's 2017 right now and you're watching this movie, the same information applies. Future self. But anyway, this will tell you what is due and when. This is kind of a handy little thing to keep you on task here. You can also click on the calendar right over here. And the calendar also tells you, I put all the assignments on Monday, but actually they're not due, they're just due sometime this week. Okay, if you don't get to 102 until like the 15th or 16th, that's totally fine. We don't start 103 till the 19th anyway. So you can do these 2 assignments sometime this week. I would start on it Monday and maybe learn the lessons and then do the quiz or do the assignments later on. So just remember to get to those. I'm not sure if you're going to have that little pop-up, by the way. Click on modules. So I know I have to do 102, but first I have to do 101. So here's how I can get to them. I like this view too because although it doesn't tell us the due date, it does show us whether we've done it or not. By the way, we can always go back to these things too and review information. The only thing I think that's left is the inbox, but because I'm in a pretend student, I cannot do it. So it's easy to figure out. It's a little inbox over on the top part of the inbox. Here, let me just click on inbox. Over on this section in the inbox right here, there'll be a create a new email message, and then from the drop-down box you can choose my name. I think you can actually send it to other students, I'm not sure, but you can send me questions. You can also send recordings, which is kind of handy. So if you have a question, you can write it out. Let me go back to the course though. Let me see if there's anything else that I need to go over with you. I don't think so. Let me actually get into this quiz. It says take the quiz. And this is all it is. It's, multiple choice things. Oh, some of them have fill in the blank, or like short answer. Now this is kind of cool. So pay attention to this part. You can insert all sorts of stuff here. You can insert a record and upload a. I've never done this, although some of my students actually have. I've never actually done this. So I think that's kind of cool though. You can also insert a math equation. So let's just say you want to say the square root of 5 or something like that. I clicked on it. I'm going to click here. I'm going to put in a 5 right there. I'm going to say insert equation. And voila, there it is. Is the answer. By the way, that's not the real answer. And you can do all sorts of equations. It's kind of cool. Boy, I don't know. Let's do a little pi symbol. Insert. Cool. Okay. You can also input pictures, embedded image. I think what you have to do though is you have to know where the picture is. So it's kind of tricky to do this part of it. So I'm not sure I would recommend that. Anyway, once you've answered all the questions, I'll just gonna answer A to all these things here. A. I know some of these are going to be wrong. Click submit quiz. Oh, I got 0 out of 20. I'll be darned. So, and what happens is I submitted the quiz, got them all wrong, and then down at the bottom, you have to wait for Mr. Errand, that's me, to grade this one, or your teacher, whoever your teacher is. You have to wait for me to grade this for you. And then once that's done, your overall score will change. By the way, I get to see how long you took on each assignment too. So if it only took you 2 minutes, I'm going to guess you did like me and didn't even bother to read the questions. Hopefully you do better than me, by the way. Well, I think that's about it. If I think of something else, I'll make another video and I will make another link to it. So talk to you later. See you online. Bye-bye.